How do we go? Hold on. Oh God. Oh, how do I do this? Oh, hold on, guys. I'm trying to work out how to work this. Even though I've gone live, I'm having problems. This is not going all right. The way I want it, because I can't. Oh, let's see if we can. Oh no, you're going at 4. Oh, this is going pear-shaped for the first time. So why can't rotate? Got oh, this is a. This is my first go at it, but not going so well. It's not going to plan what I was hoping to. I wanted to get it to go round sideways. Hi from everybody. It's not going the way I'm planning it, because at the moment I'm holding the phone and I want to put it up on the side. So this is sort of like a test run for what I wanted to do. I was hoping to have it standing on the stand, but at the moment that hasn't worked out properly. So this is sort of like a trial by error at the moment, because my little chat is awkward. Now, let's see what we can do. Hold on. Now, bear with me, guys and girls. So we try number 2 stage. With it all going pear-shaped, being the first time I've done it. Now, it's a pity I can't. I didn't think I would have all this trouble with trying to sort everything out. But it's not working out the way I'm trying. But this is my first adventure of trying it, of going live. And it looks like, hello from everybody online who's just come in and say hi. This is my first go, so it looks like it's going all pear-shaped at the moment. Not working the way that I was hoping for it to do. But I will learn as I go along. So it's not working the way that I was hoping to work it. Being my first time of doing it. I had everything set up, got the lighting all set up. Just say my name. H-A game. Can't say. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name. I'm not very good at reading. My reading's not very brilliant. Well, for this little trial, well, if I can, what I was planning to do was talking about these. If you can see, this is the Moon, a 60s band, and it started off with, you can recognise some of these people. Hold on, let's try. It's all going tits up, and that is, as you know, that is Bed Bevin, Roy Wood, and Jeff Lynne, and that's the other lineup of it. Now, what I was trying to do, I was going to go for the history, but with everything going a bit pear shape and that, and with me holding my selfie stick, this is like a trial and that. Oh, excuse me for everything going not right at the moment. Well, as I was going to say, this is to talk about the start of the Mood. The band called the Mood. In 1967, they got a big break because a certain British radio station just started. The BBC decided to open up a major league, a national radio station to take on all the pirates. This radio station was called Radio 1, and their first song was by the Mood, and it was Flowers in the Rain. And the first DJ to introduce it was a Mr. Tony Blackburn. As you might know, I've heard of him if you from the UK. Like to say hello to everybody who's coming online. Welcome to my new adventure. You have to bear with me because it's not going very well. Because everything, the way I planned it, hasn't gone to the right way. So this is sort of like a test. But once I get to learn how to get everything up and running, I might get it better, and it might work out a bit more. But at the moment, I'm doing a slow job. So let's carry on. So bear with me as we go through our little. This is all about the music, what started off as the Doors. Now, in the 70s, they decided to disband the Doors because they was going on another adventure. And this, I will show, hold on, bear with me as I go through my bits and bobs. Because I want to, as I'm doing this little talk, I'm trying to find stuff what I haven't brought down. Excuse my little cough and that. They started off, as you might know them as, if the light don't flash on, hello, the Electric Light Orchestra. Now, Roy Wood was still with them at the start, but then he decided to leave the band and give Jeff Lynne the reins to carry on and be the main man, because Roy Wood went off and he started his other band called Wizzard, what had quite a big success. Like to say hello to everybody. I see all the comments coming up and that. This is my first time, so if there's any hiccups, disasters with it, I hope you bear with me. And what do you support? I support Aston Villa Football Club. I'm known, well, we are known as villains. So that's my my soccer team. Now, to carry on with our little talk about the Electric Light Orchestra, as you know, as ELO. Now, the one album, what was the big one, was this, if you can see, Mr. Blue Skies. Well, Out of the Blue it was called. Now, this one, bear with me. I need an extra pair of hands. Now, my copy, what I've got, is in blue vinyl. So, I got it in blue vinyl and that. Bear with me if I try it. Oh, that's not working. So that was one of my Electric Light Orchestra. Sorry about this, but it's all gone pear-shaped slightly. And then later they did this album, Discovery. I could get this. Hold on. No. Oh. Here we go. That's better. Now we can do it properly. Now, these are the members of the Electric Light Orchestra. Now, these two have passed away, no longer with us. Jeff and Bev are not talking. I don't know why. That is one of the mysteries. Oh, let me put the album back in. Oh, it's all this is going pear-shaped. A minute, I'll be back. Oh, bear with me as I just get my cup of coffee. That's better. So, as we go along, Even Music was one of their first early albums. Now, going back to the Moog, as I was trying to, when I hadn't got a free hand, but now I have. Other songs they did was Flowers in the Rain, Fire Brigade. These was from the 60s and that. That's the back of the album cover. Well, the CD. So, as we go along, talking about the Electric Light Orchestra, then change to ELO. Now, this was done in the early 80s. Now, pardon, excuse me. When this came out, I got to see them in 81 at the NEC. And that day, the weather was that bad that we had snow, and they was warning people not to go to the concert. But me and my brother and my brother's friend decided to go. And we got there. There wasn't many people at the concert at the time with the weather. But lo and behold, in the audience was a Mr. Roy Rudd. Now, I got his autograph, but I don't know what ever happened to the program because I got him to sign on it. So that was one of my first meetings, because later on I got to meet Roy again. And I mentioned to him about that time with the concert, and he said he had to drive through the snow and that, through the fields. That is one of their greatest hits. They made a couple greatest hits and that. And this was the last album what they all did together. Well, I've got it on CD. In 1984, before Jeff Lynne decided to disband the band. There's the ones what ended up, because it sort of they sort of went electric, you know, or you know, some, or you know, keyboards and that. And then Jeff Lynne decided that he didn't want to do any more with the Electric Light Orchestra. So he went off on his own, but the remaining members of the band decided that no, we're not going to disband, we're going to carry on. So So in 1991, they went on tour and they called themselves the Electric Light Orchestra Part 2. As you can see, and on the back is there. It's not a very clear picture. Oh, this one might show. It's a bit better of them than remaining members of it. If you can see their pictures. Now, they did a few, they did this one, and then Bevan decided to leave, and he gave up all rights to the name, the Electric Light Orchestra, signed it all over to Jeff, because he and Jeff had a falling out, but I don't know what the story is all about and why they don't talk to each other. That is a mystery. And Bev went on his own, and he even did a tour with like the Moog and that, and now he's with the band called Quell, and he's married to the lead singer, and he tours with them and plays with them. They do like local gigs, and the local, but they was well known. So if you can see from this picture, the only most of them have passed away. The only one, because in the end, after ELO Part 2, they had to drop the name because of legal reasons and Mr. Jeff Lynne. So in the end, they called themselves the orchestra. So the only original member is Mick. I can't think of his name. The violinist, because all the others have passed away, and that's the back of them. So he's the only original fully member of the original lineup of the Electric Light Orchestra, and he's carried on, and they call themselves the orchestra. They still play the Electric Light Orchestra music and that. And in 2000, Jeff Lynne decided that he was going to reform the Electric Light Orchestra again with Richard Tandy, who was part of the original lineup, to continue. So after Jeff decided to do come back, he made another album called Zoom in 2001. That had a bit of a success, but not so much as he was hoping, I think. So going back to the 90s, in between starting the Electric Light Orchestra up again, Jeff Lynne decided to, with Roy Wood, Roy Orbison, and Bob Dylan, and God, I can't think, Tom Petty, they decided to form a supergroup called the Travelling Wilburys. Now, they only sort of made 2 albums, but in the middle of, I think when they was doing the second album, Roy Orbison passed away, but they still carried on. They've had a few hits, and because Jeff Lynne went on to produce quite a few people over the years. He did George Harrison as named as one. He even produced the Beatles' Free as a Bird. And he helped to produce Brian Wilson's, excuse me, one of his last albums. But getting back to the story of the Electric Light Orchestra, in 2010, 11 or 12, he decided that he wanted to take it on, the Electric Light Orchestra. But he named it Jeff Lynne's Electric Light Orchestra. His first big concert, well, what made him decide to go and start touring again, was Hyde Park for the BBC, what they filmed. And then he sort of got the bug of it. Now, the first album, what he did as Jeff Lynne's Electric Light Orchestra, oh, I haven't got it here, no, was Alone in the Universe. That came out in 2016, if I'm correct. Here we go. There's the programme from the actual concert. I went and seen it in Nottingham. One of the many pictures of Jeff Lynne. As I'll show you the pictures of him. And the ship with Jeff Lynne say hello. So he enjoyed it so much, so he decided that he'd start touring. That's like a picture of them on tour from that year with the new lineup of as you can see, if you can see that, that's the new lineup. The only one what was originally has been has always been with them was Richard Tandy. But after his first tour in 2016, Richard Tandy was not very well, so he stepped back. There's more pictures of him. The thing Richard Tandy was, one of his best things was from the Out of the Blue song, Mr. Blue Size, because he did like the voice part for it. There's some more pictures. And here we go. As you can see, all the albums from the very first Electric Light Orchestra. He even did Xanadu, a film what was not a success, but the music was, because Xanadu was sung by Olivia Newton-John. And there's the one with the Travelling Wilburys, where my thumb is. He did a couple of an album in 2012 called Long Wave. That was sort of like old music and that. Now, that one on there was the one what he brought out in 2001 called Zoom. Because the last one, as he did, as the Electric Light Orchestra in 1986 with the original lineup, and then he decided to do that. And as you can see from the bottom, the album cover of Alone in the Universe. And a picture of them there. So that's from 2016. So a couple of years later, as we digress. In 2018, he brought his next album. Well, before he did that, I think we can, hold on, bear with me, just sorting through. He did, what was he? Wembley or Bust. That was a live album he did at Wembley Stadium. And then in 2018, he come out with this album, Alone in the Universe, from out of nowhere. Sorry. This is out of nowhere. Got my teeth in the twist. So that's showing Jeff on his guitar, because he did a lot of the work in his studio where he lived in Los Angeles. And then in 2018, that is the program from his tour that year. I got to see him in Birmingham The one in 2016, I went to see him in Nottingham. So, if you can see down on the bottom, that's the lineup what they got now. Quite a few people, and it's even got Jeff Lynne's signature. And that's how the stage would look. Looks impressive the way they've done the ship. And pictures of them all on stage and that as we go through the programme. This one, if you can see them, shows all the people involved with the new lineup of the Electric Light Orchestra and doing some of the numbers of and everybody backstage. And there's like a, I don't know if it's like, that's like a helmet, and now this, if you can see, is like a breakdown of how he progressed over the years. That goes up to 1990. Then, see, going through to the 2007, when he did a live album called Wembley or Bust. He was, in 2017, he was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One of many other things he's got. In Birmingham, by Symphony Hall, there is a stone, a plaque for Jeff Lynne, because he's originally from Birmingham. He was brought up in Chelmsford Wood. That's the south side of Birmingham. And I presume, being living over there, he would have been a Birmingham City fan. Because with the City, you had two rivals, Villa and Birmingham. So that is... So this year he's doing one final tour, and his last final gig of the tour will be in Hyde Park. This is like a farewell tour of the Electric Light Orchestra, and I think he's going to call it, that's going to be the actual end. For the others, Bed Bevin, he's off with Quell, because he's a member of Quell now, because he's married one of the lead singer of Quell, and he performs with Quell quite a lot. They do lots of gigs and that, around the Midlands and that. I don't know if they do anywhere further. With the orchestra, with Mick, I can't think of his other name, the violinist. I don't know if he's still touring with being the only original member of the Electric Light Orchestra still alive and touring as the orchestra, because they can't use the Electric Light Orchestra, but they still play those songs and that. Like Quill, they still play their songs. So that is my little history about how the Moo started off as a Moo with Roy Wood and a few others and Bed Bevan. Then Jeff Lynne came into the Moo with Bev and Roy and Jeff later on in the years. Then just because they had a few more albums that they had to do, they at the same time when they started off the Electric Light Orchestra, they had two albums out, one by the Moo and one by the Electric Light Orchestra at the same time. So then after their, I don't know if it was the first or second, Roy decided to hand over the reins to Jeff Lynne because Roy wanted to go off and do his own thing. So then Roy Wood went off and he started off his glam rock band Wizzard, and he had quite a few hits. He had a big Christmas hit. I wish it could be Christmas. Merry Christmas or something. I forget which one it is. He had a Christmas tour one at the same year in the 70s at the same time as Slade. So in that year, that Christmas year, you had two local lads from the Midlands, Birmingham and Wolverhampton. Slade was at number one. Roy Wood and Wizzard was that number two. So that is my little bit of the history of the Electric Light Orchestra, the Moo, the Travelling Wilburys, because Jeff Lynne went and did the Travelling Wilburys with George Harrison and the super group, and how they formed and that. And then he did a few albums himself, solo stuff. He's done a lot of producing for a lot of bands and people over the years, and he's got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now with the Electric Light Orchestra. When they was inducted, there was only Roy and Jeff what was there. Beb wasn't there. I think that might have been because they're not talking with each other, but I don't know what the reasons why they've fallen out, and I can't go into that because that's another story, but nobody knows. But it's personal reasons, and Bev signed out for the rights to Jeff Lynne for the name the Electric Light Orchestra, even though he was a founding member of the band as well. So after all this little chat, after the ups and downs of everything, and with it starting going off pear-shaped, I hope you enjoyed this little live tete-a-tete. And next time I will hope to have it set up a bit better and run a bit smoother. But this was my first one, and I hope it was a success and you've enjoyed it, and my little chat about the Moo, Electric Light Orchestra, Travelling Wilburys, ELO Part 2, Jeff Lynne's Electric Light Orchestra, and the orchestra, and the history of quite a couple of the people, well, 3 people have passed away. Lewis Collin, the conductor, one of the lead guitarists, I cannot think of his name. He had like a ponytail, and Richard Tandy. They have passed away. So there's not many of the original lineup still with us. So for now, I will wish you fun farewell, and I hope you enjoy yourself. And I'll say hello to everybody who's come in and see me. And hi to Birmingham boy. I've hoped you enjoy this, and I'll say goodbye. Stop. I didn't stop it.